Hello, my name is Andrew Morgan Smith, and I'm here to talk to you today about the sample library feedback drones. So let's get into it. So my buddy Kevin over at Triumph Audio sent me the library, sent me feedback drones, and asked if I'd want to compose a track for it and maybe do a video about it. And so I thought that'd be fun to check out. I really enjoyed his Ghost Cello library. If you haven't checked that out, it has a lot of really great kind of tones and textures. And this is kind of an expansion, not really an expansion, but similar idea, but with feedback and some kind of more organic textures. So a lot of the hybrid libraries out there, they have more synthesizer textures, and this has a lot more variety. But also, who can have enough just different kinds of textures, right? We can't have enough textures, so you just don't overuse the same ones, and you can kind of have different sounds. So I wrote this piece. I'm going to talk about that for a second and how I used it in this track, and how you can kind of use it to make different sounds. And even though it has drones, you can kind of make it into pulses and make it into kind of more synthesizer plucks and that kind of stuff. So also I've cut my template down way down. Like, I've hidden a lot of tracks for this. As you can see, there's like 600 something tracks in my template, but I made it smaller just to make it more digestible for everyone. I just wanted to follow it. All right. So you got your mock-up. Cool. That's awesome. Excellent. So awesome that you did a great job on the mock-up. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about your mock-up, which we theoretically are working on. Okay. So things that you might want that are really great, right? So this library has some really great textures and stuff to use. So whenever I started writing, full disclosure, I actually wrote the piece with these in mind. I didn't just add them in. So this is CC1 and CC11, by the way, if you're wondering. Right, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Where is my... So there's like a little pulse. So now I'm just going to play. I guess I wonder if I should just play these. So I found kind of this rhythm, which kind of creates this cool impending synth texture, right? All right, let's see here. So I had a few different like kind of pitch textures. Right, and then so I put together some of these just for the opening here. Right, so I kind of created an interesting texture here, but then we get things like this. This is doubling the low string notes and brass notes here. So that creates like an interesting texture on top of these things. Let me play you those things with the orchestra now. So, and then there just needed to be another layer here, especially doubling that viola line. So I created this. I created this short, almost like synth pluck, by just taking this and I put the I put the release really short to where it was. So, right. So, I mean, we're talking about we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 layers onto your orchestral mock-up. And you get this. So it creates a really effective, kind of soundscape on top of your orchestral stuff without having to be too busy. As in, like, the simplicity of it's pretty nice. And then as we go forward here, kind of created, this is, I think, a little riser. Yeah, it's just it's a synth part, but I just used it to make like a little rise into the next part because it has a good opening, like a good attack. And then I added these things here to get into doubling some of the brass parts that come in, like the oh, this is another riser that I used. So here's one of the ones I double with the horns, right? Panned it to the horn side. Right, panned it to the horn side. This one I think I doubled this is doubling the trumpets. It just has a cool, almost like kind of brassy sound to it. So as we build up into this, same thing here, right? I took this and I made sure it had a short enough release. I mean, this one still has a fairly long one, but it still kind of gets out of the way. And so this is kind of opening up this envelope as it moves forward. This is the horn part that is doubling. Alright, so this is also doubling this trumpet part. There's another riser. Here's some stuff. This stuff is still doubling the string runs. And then this is going to be doubling the bass and the strings, this stuff. It's just a cool kind of synth bass attack. Then this is another little element that's it's called distorted bass. Once again, all these are like longer tones, right? But just had like a nice texture to kind of add something else to it. And then let's see here. This is another like riser. I use it as a tone. So it's just it's a drone, but I used pitch bend to turn it into a riser. Yeah, so you get this, with very little additional layers. And some of these layers I literally just copied and pasted over. Like these string parts, like this is all just copied and pasted over with a little bit of editing. The plasma bass, all That's all just copied over, just for cool layering effect. All right, let's check it out. Playing from the top. I'm gonna just focus on these elements now. Cool. So that's kind of my take on feedback drones. I mean, the stuff has a lot of great stuff in this library. There's a lot of variety. You know, I mean, I kind of just scratched the surface when it came to this, but it has a ton of stuff. It just kind of scratched the surface when it comes to this library. I mean, there's just a ton of instruments. You know, there's drones, high drones, movements, pads, leads, basses, rhythmic stuff. You know, I mean, it's just a ton of stuff, ton of presets, ton of ideas, and it's pretty flexible. You can do effects on and off up here, and you know, it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you don't have a ton of hybrid stuff. I think it would be great. And if you do have other hybrid stuff, it could also be good because it's just nice to have new sounds, right? Whenever it's like effects, you can't have enough effects and you can't have enough textures and stuff just so you have something different to play with and you don't sound like everybody else. Well, thank you so much for listening and checking this out. I'll let you get back to work. But we will talk soon. I'll also be doing a video. Talking about the actual orchestral parts of this. So look out for that.